What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with
What
it.
am I actually assuming? What's my assumption there?
You're assuming that is the case, that is the truth.
Oh, right. So it's not the truth then?
It might not be.
It might not be. So solipsism.
Hence an assumption.
Oh, so that's all you've got then, solipsism. Right. Why are you bothering to talk to me? Why are you bothering to talk to a delusion in your own mind? To challenge a delusion in your own head. I'm all good with solipsism, yeah. So how do you...
What in the world is going on? What?
But quick question. And what is an assumption? Can somebody define what an assumption is? The guy who said it was an assumption. What is an assumption?
I think he means I'm presupposing something.
No, but I'm asking him, what is an assumption? Can you define it for us?
Yeah,
well, it's like, to me anyway, an assumption is when I'm assuming to know what I'm talking about when I might, in reality, not have a clue.
That's not an assumption.
No, that's not an assumption, bro. You use an assumption. You use an assumption to define an assumption.
An assumption is something that is accepted to be true or certain without proof.
Without proof.
Is there any proof that we're on a rock in space? Is there any proof of that?
No.
There's no proof of that?
So you are a solipsist then, Merlin. That makes you a solipsist.
Yeah.
Because this conversation is pointless anyway.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Yeah.
Freddie, what is proof, Freddie? What is proof?
Just a second. What is proof? Academic proof? What standard of proof would you like, Nathan?
This is pointless.
That's a general definition of proof.
Oh, the general one. I don't go with the general one. You can have academic proof, yeah? Evidence isn't proof.
What is proof?
I don't give a fuck, Nathan. You can try and show me. A new person is in the chat who's challenging me, of all people, and I'd like to take that challenge. I thank Trini for that little help there. But Nate, you're just going, oh, what? Just chill out for a minute. Merlin, sorry. Back to you. So you're basically talking about solipsism then. So
no.
Do you exist?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because I'm here talking to you.
Oh, well, you've gone outside of your own body. So you are now assuming, not unreasonably, why do you assume that I exist? And there is something outside of your own mind, or that you're even a mind in the first place?
I mean, it's a fair question. I have had many interactions in my life, and if it's all just a mass delusion or hallucination, I can accept that. But I would beg to differ. Let's just put it that way.
Well, you can beg to differ then. Why do you not think it's an illusion?
It's too elaborate for it all to be happening in my head alone. You know?
I'm sorry, but have you ever taken hallucinogenic drugs?
I have.
Oh, right. And the world changes massively under those circumstances. LSD, dimethyltryptamine, whatever you like. Yep. Doesn't it?
Sure.
Oh, so you think that it's the complexity of it is why you assume you actually exist? Because of the complexity of the delusion?
So I'm just sitting here on my own, imagining reality, and I'm just on my own and no one else is here, and it's all happening in my head.
You haven't actually yet explained to me how it is that you think you actually exist. You haven't critiqued.
Well,
you haven't given if you give me a modern critique of solipsism, I will yield. Until you do, you're just talking at me. You've heard about it and you think it's a challenge. It is a great challenge, yeah. How do you know you exist? I will tell you how I know. I have an ontological proof.
Right.
So what
is it?
No, I'm asking you. You're the person who accused me of being a solipsist. Or sorry, you said you were a solipsist. What you said was effectively saying I don't know anything at all actually exists. I'm on a rock in space. It's all in my mind. You tell me how you know that you exist, and it's not all in your mind. What's your reasoning to think that?
Well, I'm really alluding to the fact that we've been told where we are.
By whom?
Okay?
By whom?
By the scientific establishment.
You've gone outside of your own head again.
Yeah.
So the scientific establishment is a delusion, as is my voice to you. You still can't tell me why you think you actually exist. I can explain it to you very, very easily with an ontological proof of my own existence. You cannot accept it.
No, it's
But-
fine. It's
but
kind of
you-
interesting.
You know what's also interesting? You said that we're told where we exist by the scientific elite. Now, have you ever considered that there's a chance that you're speaking to members of said scientific elite in this chat right now who could independently verify that this is true or not true?
Oh,
Or-
that would be exciting.
Okay.
Oh,
So when you say that there is no proof for something and you just make that claim, that's very specious on your part, right?
If you knew what I've been involved in for the past 7 years, you'd understand.
Well,
Well,
hallucinating drugs is one thing. Drug
Yeah.
taking is one thing that you just revealed to us that you've been involved in. After that point, you know, your decision making and your knowledge is suspect to me. That's just
Sure.
me put- Is that a reasonable assumption that if someone tells me they don't know we exist on a rock in space, quote unquote rock in space, and this person told me that they're a drug user who takes hallucinogens, would you take that person seriously?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I
No.
wouldn't. It's
What
unreasonable
about-
for me to take a drug
what
user.
about
Go ahead.
Aldous Huxley or Terence McKenna or someone, Joe Rogan, or I mean,
No,
they've
Joe
all
Rogan, you can take. Yeah. Drop Joe Rogan off the list.
okay.
And none of them deny that we're on a rock in space. None of those two individuals deny that.
No.
Why cite even Joe Rogan doesn't deny that we're on a rock in space. So why cite individuals who don't agree with your point of view?
Well, because I've been told that I'm an outlier or liner or something like this, like on the
Right.
fringe,
By whom?
by many people in mainstream science.
Oh,
So the scientific elite told you that and you believe it?
Yeah, well, they're looking for a category for me, and I think at the moment it seems to be unclassified because I'm one of the only people on Earth saying that no one on Earth knows what Earth is.
You're not the only person saying that.
Rene Descartes said
I'm
it.
one of the only people. I
You
say.
can't even
No,
give
you're-
me, excuse me, you haven't yet given me a modern critique or any kind of reason to think that you even understand what solipsism even is and how it works and how
I
I
don't. To be honest with you, Batty Boy Bin Laden, I don't really know what it is. I've heard it argued. I've got a basic understanding of it, that everything's pretty much, you know, like I'm the center of my own reality, basically. You know.
No, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that like a brain in a vat.
Yes,
You know,
that-
like a dream.
that's Descartes, yes.
Yeah,
Where's the vat?
exactly.
No,
I
Jesus, but-
don't really.
Listen, that was a
It-
joke. And if you said to me exactly when I said that to you, that demonstrates to me that you've never ever looked into the philosophy of solipsism or read a goddamn thing about it, because you can't explain to me why it is you think you actually exist. And
I
it's
just
not.
don't.
Even if
I don't-
it's a delusion, how is it a delusion? Are you in the Matrix? Explain that to me.
I guess I don't take things like that. It's like, say if somebody called me, like the guy before, a retard. I know that that's somebody's point of view, but that doesn't mean they're correct. So when you called me a solipsist, I was like, well, you threw your dart, but you didn't exactly hit the bullseye. But I would have acknowledged it if you did.
Yes, but I'm sorry. Your challenge to me was basically from the point of view of solipsism. When you said, how do I know we are floating around on a rock in space?
Right. I think
Epistemology.
this is an assumption.
Right. Yes, it's an assumption.
And the only reason I think it's an assumption is because this was an assumption that I held to be true once upon a time. And now I think it's my
To be
own
true.
naivety.
You are a solipsist if you don't hold that to be true.
Okay, well, I didn't realize this.
You didn't realize it, right? Well, I suggest you go to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Read first of all Descartes. What line follows? I think, therefore I am.
Right.
I doubt, therefore I am. I doubt, therefore I am is the line after it. Not many people know that because hardly anybody's ever bothered to read it. They all think they know about it, as you do. So you can take your challenge, you take the other three of your criticisms, stick them where the sun doesn't shine. You're boring. Goodbye.
Thanks. I don't think I'm boring. I just don't adhere to discord political ideologies with voices coming out of computers telling me that they know my mind and what I think.
Sorry, what's political?
Take a run and fuck to yourself.
Shut up or I will mute you. Right. What is the political ideology? Shut up, Mars.
He can't. Don't worry, Merle. He's gay.
Oh, very fucking funny. That's all you've got, you empty little vacuous Christian prick. I know you're a retard and you can't work out that we're fucking actually that you're so wrong. I think you actually do have that. Sorry, Johnny. You take it because he's annoying me now. He's now trying to.
I just find it interesting. Like you said, something is an assumption, and definitionally, it's not an assumption. So I don't even know where to go from there. If you don't know what an assumption is, how could someone continue a conversation with you if you don't understand what an assumption actually is? You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So what's the point of interjection? You know, I don't understand what's going on. It's you know where I'm at. So.
Can I just clarify that I wasn't trolling? I am genuine in my quest to find out what reality is. For a start, I push for that door to open. I've had a lot of criticism for it, but my terminology and my language, if it was inaccurate this evening, I apologize.
Okay, apology accepted.
Yeah, no problem. But it's just interesting. It's just, you know, I think this generation, we have been benefited with the ability to stand on the shoulders of giants. But instead, we want to kick these giants in their nuts and say they don't know anything and have them just roll over and die. And then we're going to eventually have to reinvent the wheel. And this is going to throw our civilization backwards. So if someone says, hey, you know what, the earth is flat, because I've always been told the earth is round, and that can't be true because what these old fogies know, it's problematic for us as a species. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're trying to reinvent a wheel, and then you're going to come up with a wheel. Yeah. And you realize you waste your time. I don't want you to waste your life looking for something that people have already found. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you are really reverting to solipsism, saying what is reality. So I've got a question then. Are you having experience? As in, close your eyes, put your fingers in your ears, in a darkened room, and are you still having experience?
Yes.
Excellent. Now, if that experience, it has to be real. You've admitted, you've accepted that you have experience. So it has to be real.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do. Like, I think...
So your ontological proof is just that. You can try denying experience, but you're accepting of experience, even if you accept it from the point of view of solipsism. So that is your ontological proof. It doesn't have epistemic possibility consideration because it is an is. It's a brute fact. Then your ontological proof is it's possible. So therefore, it is possible true. Ontological proof. your experience. So formulating the question and understanding the question, answering the question of are you having experience, means that you must have a coherent mind, at least in part, a coherent experience. So I can suggest that it would be akin to being in some kind of a crazy trip where everything just keeps changing so much that you can't make any sense of it. So you can make sense of experience. So again, ontological true, possible true. I'll stop there. Anyway, did you want to go on with the three other? So so I was basically criticizing the God delusion. So what was number 2 then on the 4 in the list?
Now I've got to go back. Now nothing's really jutting out now because we honed in, but I think the points you've raised I appreciate. I definitely do, because I'm guilty of not being. So if there's a logical train of thought, and I'm on a carriage or I'm a passenger on the carriage, sometimes I'll jump carriage, and then sometimes I'll jump the train, because it's not that I have ADHD. Sometimes my attention span wanes and I just lose interest, but it's something I'm working on, because I understand that it's almost like an art form, and I think some people are highly skilled in this art form, and I do have a quiet respect for people who utilize those abilities of communication and honing in on a point logically, critically, with discernment, without the need to insult their.
Yeah, well, I apologize to you for maybe screaming.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But I am so used to people hopping in when I make. Oh, what I actually said was that it's the delusion of grandeur to think that if you're floating around on a rock in space, an incredibly, actually unimaginably larger universe, you just can't get your head around the orders of magnitude to do with this universe. It's huge. This galaxy is 400,000 light years across. Speed of light is 299,792,458 meters per second. That's 3 billion kilometers per hour. And it would take you 400,000 years moving at that speed to cross this galaxy, this solar system. No, sorry, the galaxy. Yeah, this galaxy.
There's this server with this guy who works with the James Webb Telescope, and when you,
yeah, me too.
When you ask him where is L1 and L2,
the Grand point. Yeah. Do you understand how that works?
Not exactly. Again,
do you know what the Bowery Center is?
The Bowery Center?
Bowery Center, yeah.
Not exactly, no.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the reason I raised it is because I'm pretty sure L1's about 1 million miles away. And I was asking him, how did the data analysis forensics team establish when James Webb actually was in that vicinity? Like, what detectors do they have? And it all got very wishy-washy, and I just find that I think you could probably explain it, but it's just strange that when you ask some of the professionals in the field,
usually enough, you should bring that up. A friend of mine, we have an astrophysics and particle physics server, an admin on there. My friend is an academic physicist with 2 MAs and a PhD, and he has just been analysing data from the Newton satellite, looking at Vela X1, which is the brightest X-ray source in the sky, discovered in 1971 or 2, I think. And it's been observed ever since then. So that is also a satellite at L2. So yeah, I understand how that works. And then the data analysis of looking at what is in a high mass X-ray binary system. So I've just been through all the data analysis of doing exactly what you're talking about.
Interesting.
So telemetry, etc. All that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Which is the data flow from the satellite. The observations in that case are made with an optical telescope, which isn't just light. An MOS, metal oxide semiconductor, a CCD, a charge coupled device, and refraction grating RGD. So yeah, actually, I have an MA in physics, so
Right.
I do understand it. Yeah,
Yeah.
not actually so much. I would have to go back to orbital mechanics to explain to you fully how they work out where L2 is. It's actually not that difficult. So
No.
what you do when you get a satellite to L2, you cannot
Don't
go
forget to
beyond it.
mention
James-
your PhD in faggotry.
Thanks for that one. I'm a homosexual man. Is that okay with you? Thanks. Good. If it's not, it's tough.
Yes.
So I will carry on with my explanation here. So you
You'll
cannot
have
go
forgive-
beyond L2. If you go beyond L2, the James Webb, you would have to turn it round to fire the rockets in the opposite direction. If you do that, you're going to blow the telescope because it's got heat shielding on it. It will literally destroy the telescope. So you have to stay this side of L2. So you're always falling into L2 and boosting away from it, back towards us, if you like. Using towards and away, vector, away from us and towards us. If you go beyond L2, you'd have to spin the satellite around and come back, and then the satellite will be facing the sun, and boom, it won't work. Because it's designed to be looking further back than not the James Webb. What's the other great big one? I forgot his bloody name. Hubble.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Hubble. No, I mean,
So Hubble's optical. So it's going to be looking for infrared structures. So my friend's next pursuit, having just published this paper, and I get credit on that paper, by the way. The next pursuit is he's going to be looking at. I'm not really supposed to say anything, but he's going to be looking at data from James Webb, JWST, to look back, because there are some structures in the early universe which are part of the Hubble Deep Field image, which are kind of inexplicable at the moment, because they seem like they're too formed for the early universe. So we'll be able to see further than any human has ever seen before. And I've just come up in goose pimples. So thanks for your critique of solipsism.
no, just so you know where I'm coming from.
What have you been doing for 7 years then? You said you've been doing something for the last 7 years. What was that?
Well, I guess there's been a split in a way, between the establishment and then some regular everyday people who are very skeptical now of the claims of the mainstream establishment. And part of the critique or criticism is, how can the public or the layman verify these distances? That just for one, as an example. So
Fair enough, yeah. Well, the answer is quite simple. Go to university, get a degree in physics, get a master's in physics. You're going to need mathematics on your side as well. Now, 1 + 1 is 2, and no one's really going to argue about that particularly. Mathematics is not as complicated as you might think it is. Pure math is, maybe.
yeah.
So that's how you verify it. And science works by falsification, not verification. It's falsification. We're trying desperately to break everything. They want to find-
The last thing I'll ask you is this. Is there a possibility that L1 or L2 isn't a million miles away?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Right.
I think L2 is about 1 million miles away, yeah. I'll just check. Do you want me to send you a video on how it works?
I think
'Cause
we
it's
can.
not-
We can all agree that science is about falsifying things.
Well, yeah, so really, you're saying you're skeptical. But what is it you're skeptical of? Because it sounds more like you are... It sounds more like the conspiracy theory that science is somehow lying to you. Like every academic physicist on the planet and not just physicists, all the kind of science, all the hard sciences are all somehow involved in a huge conspiracy to deceive you. Do you think that that's the case?
Well, it's largely religion that's fostered that attitude because science keeps disproving their bullshit.
The only thing I'll say is this, and then I'll zip it. To me, as the observer, as the scientist, when I look at the stars or the moon or any of the luminaries or the lights in the sky, they seem close to me, in my vicinity. And I believe that is why I can see them, because I don't believe in light speed or light years or any of these things. I think that we can see things.
Can you clarify that statement? First of all, you said,
"Oh,
as a scientist,
you're an idiot." Okay, all right, we got it.
Hang on, Graham. I was speaking off from one. Are you a scientist? Are you a
Yes.
mathematician? You are a scientist. What's your degree in?
I'm not a mathematician, but
What is your degree in?
it's in film making.
Okay, so how are you going to understand the redshift of light? Do you understand the redshift of light, how that works?
Yeah, I've heard it explained ad nauseum.
Okay, well, ad nauseum, yeah, well, you need to then go and look into that that's how we can establish how far away things are. Then there's also, do you know about the black lines that appear in spectrums in the rainbow?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, well, they are called absorption lines. So there are black lines. If you take something called spectroscopy, which is like taking a rainbow and spreading it out, Google an image of it, absorption lines in a spectrum, that's where photons are being absorbed at very particular frequencies. And different chemicals absorb different frequencies. So the black lines form patterns, and we can demonstrate that by just looking at stuff on Earth and then looking at the spectrum that comes in. So that's how we can infer what things are actually made, what chemicals, what elements are in stars. I will ping you a couple of images then.
Cool.
So it seems to me that you're more a conspiracy theorist than a skeptic. And you haven't made much of an effort to find this shit out.
Oh, I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I mean, P. Mars could probably vouch for me. I don't want him to, but he's been involved.
Ask if you're a theist.
No, I'd call myself more of a Gnostic heretic.
A Gnostic heretic. So Gnostic is knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ancient knowledge then, yeah? Lost
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yes. I'm mysticism, the occult, yes.
The occult and mysticism. You're a filmmaker. You have a degree in filmmaking.
I can vouch for Merle.
I'm not having a go. You can vouch for somebody as much as you want, Mars. But he clearly has such a limited understanding of physics, not even the basic stuff. I mean, I've never said even. My friend underneath me, Cromer. I don't think, Cromer, it's fair to say you're not a scientist, Cromer, and you don't have degrees in science.
I have a technical background.
Yeah, I know you
scientific one.
Yeah, but you get an understanding.
Meaning he technically has a background.
Okay. Yeah, but
See, Mars has a PhD in sideline sniping because that's about all he's actually capable of.
Well, I've never heard any kind of a coherent argument as to why he thinks God actually exists other than the Bible. So,
but I mean, it's just like questioning that. I mean, look, photons are particles, right? And there's other particles too. Like my background's in electricity. Do you question how electricity works? Because it's verified over and over, right? We understand how electrons, neutrons, et cetera, work. You know, just like we understand how photons work. I mean, do you have the same sort of skepticism toward electricity? Do you question whether you go in your house and flip a light switch on, the light bulb's going to come on? I mean, that's the level of skepticism you're engaged in right now. And it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I think when you push like there's a guy in a community, there's two of them actually. One's called Grim V, the other one's called Witsit Gets It. Now he's stood at Mount Rushmore with a megaphone telling people that, you know, the Earth is electromagnetic and everything's based on hydrostatics.
Oh, dear me. Yes, well, okay. You've got a huge problem here. Hydrostatic forces are 10 with 43 zeros after it, stronger than gravity. Gravity is immensely weak in comparison. That, again, I'm not even going to go there. I was trying to talk about this with somebody the other day, what happens if you try to push two electrons into space, if you push them together closer to each other. You need a huge understanding of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, of quantum mechanics, of relativity, Einstein's special relativity, mass energy equivalence, all demonstrable.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm just about to ping you spectral lines, absorption lines in a spectrum, which it took me about 2 seconds to find in Google.
I don't believe in any of this stuff.
Yeah, well, you're a god. You can be a god believer. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't get you anywhere. It's just bankrupt. It's empty, vacant, and bankrupt. As for your mysticism and ancient knowledge, I don't know what you're talking about, and clearly you don't.
Well, Gnosticism deals more with like hidden knowledge and secret knowledge and inner knowledge, and
yeah,
Cringe.
There you go, buddy. They are absorbed lines. I haven't actually looked. What are they?
I'll open my third eye and shit.
There you go.
Figure out all the secrets to the universe that all, you know, because obviously some people have psychic powers that the rest of us don't have, you know.
Yeah. So look at that image that I just posted for you in general chat. That's absorption lines. Those black lines, if you spread out a rainbow spectrum, the absorption lines, that's the absorption lines of hydrogen. When you look at the sun, those absorption lines are there. When you look at early stars, those absorption lines are there. And that's when you look at it on Earth and in stars that are miles away. Now they shift, yes, because of redshift. Redshift is akin to the racing car that comes past you at high frequency. As it's approaching you, the waves are squashed together. As it's going away from you, they get further apart.
Sure.
And so those hydrogen absorbs very specific energy levels. And that's what they are. And every single
sounds like you're describing the Doppler effect.
Elements do that, yeah. But stars, our sun, only make up to iron and nothing further than iron. That requires supernova, and I'm not going to explain that. So what I suggest you do is actually get educated, because it sounds to me like what you actually are is a conspiracy theorist, not a skeptic. I'm a skeptic. You're a conspiracy theorist. And if you want to ask me about anything to do with physics, you're welcome.
No, I appreciate that. I'm just somebody who spent most of his life having a trust in science completely. You know, Carl Sagan was sort of like one of my forefathers of knowledge, let's say. I was handed Carl Sagan's Cosmos in my 20s,
Okay,
you know, the DVD.
Can I ask a question at this point?
Yeah, sure.
So at what point did science let you down? How has it proven false to you?
I think what I'm aware of now is that there's two sets of physics. One is Earth-based. It's practical, it's demonstratable, it's applicable. Like, you can demonstrate it, we can all understand it. If anybody, you know, chooses to go to school, you can learn a trade, it can be applied. That physics I trust, engineering, things like that.
Newtonian
When it
mechanics.
comes to astrophysics, outside Earth, this other area called the void or space, things change. It's based on a whole different set of principles, and I don't trust any of that now.
Right. Well, I don't know what it is that you distrust or why.
Because it can't be demonstrated.
What can't be demonstrated?
The fundamental principles of the laws of motion. For
The
a start.
fundamental principles of the laws of motion. So that sounds to me like the fundamental principles of the laws of motion are Newtonian mechanics.
Yeah.
Orbits. That's
Yep.
motion.
Yeah.
So what is it about motion that you have a problem with when it's not on Earth?
Well, see, this is well. No, I don't want to bore you, but so in the Earth's atmosphere, when we're moving, we have, as you know, we have friction because of air. Outside of Earth atmosphere, above the Kármán line, we don't have that concern. Hence, we can move through space and time in an orbit without fluctuating through space and time.
I don't really know what you mean. Without
Well,
friction.
so if the Earth is in orbit around the sun, it doesn't speed up or slow down.
That's Kepler's law, yeah.
And these are some of the. This is the crux of where flat Earth evolved into a real hard lens, microscopic to the macro, of just the claim of what's happening.
So you believe the Earth's flat?
Wait. Are you a
Yeah,
flat
go.
earther?
I was one of the people who was naive to step forward and question the globe, yes. And I have sat with flat earthers and spent a majority of the past 7 years with people like this and arguing.
So do you believe that the Earth is flat?
I'm not a flat earther. No, I don't believe it's flat. No.
I was gonna say, because every flat earther I've ever talked to, I asked for one workable model, and I have yet to see a single one.
Yeah, it's an issue for them, definitely. They don't have a map or a model.
No. Well, orbital mechanics is still Newtonian. No, you don't need any kind of quantum mechanics or anything like that, anything funky to get things into orbit. It's a rocket equation. It's just Newtonian mechanics. As for friction in space, you are correct that there isn't friction as you understand it on Earth, but actually there is a pushback from space at the quantum level. Things need a certain amount of energy to be able to move through space, or the background quantum field pushes back against it.
Mm-hmm.
The energy in space is enough to push back. So you do need a certain amount of energy to move through space, but that's at the micro scales. We're talking about macro scale orbital mechanics.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the conversation, because a lot of the time, there's a certain other room that's notorious for having pretty high-level intellectuals on a certain level, but they're not as courteous as you. They're quick to get triggered, and they're quite emotional.
I did jump down your throat, dude, because I hear it all. I'm really sort of
in the big scheme of things,
apologetics, and then somebody jumps in and goes, "I've got 4 criticisms, and your number one criticism was basically from solipsism."
Sure, but at the same time, see, that was a moment. The moment's passed. We proceeded, and I'm completely over it. I hold no grudge towards you in any way, shape, or form.
Same here,
So
buddy.
yeah, it's but just as an example, it's interesting when sometimes usually in this particular server called Debate Flat Earth and More, it's called. When some of these topics gets raised, it gets quite nasty. So
they're such a joke. So have you heard of Flat Earth 24/7?
Yeah.
Well, I went in there with my friend that I just told you about, the one who's got 2 MAs and a PhD. and they said the sun is just a light in the sky. Now they are difficult to challenge because they're so dumb. Sorry, but they are. So I just thought, well, I have to make this as simple as possible. So I just asked them, do you get a suntan when you go outside? To which really they just obfuscated it away immediately, because the answer is probably yes, unless you have some kind of a disease I don't know. And even the black people, not to offend anyone, because they are black people, they get suntans too. Then you have to explain how that happens. It's radiation that causes that. Then you would have to explain where radiation comes from if the sun is a projection onto a dome. So, but I think the reply I got was, I think when I asked, "Do you get a suntan?" they said, the space station isn't real. At that point, I do not know where to proceed in a conversation with somebody who's that dumb. So that's why the academics would just go, "Well, you're just a retard."
Sure.
So it pays to be skeptical, but yeah, and be open-minded, but not so open-minded that your brain falls out.
Yeah, I think certain circles are flushing mainstream knowledge and their own knowledge down the toilet, and it is a danger. Definitely.
Well, it is, and I don't hear anyone complaining about their computer working, as Cromer pointed out earlier. Where has science let you down? Yeah, you're not complaining about your computer now. Cromer will be well more qualified than I am to talk about the electronics, but I have the understanding of how the electrons sit in the wells in close metal oxide semiconductors, the chip set.
Cool.
So if you're that skeptical of physics and quantum mechanics, that if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have a computer to be talking to us on in the first place.
Well, I mean, just to put a full stop on it, I genuinely, because my whatever, but my dad was a mechanical engineer. He's retired now. He's in his 80s, but he's a very logical, mainstream person. He and sometimes when I talk to him, I think he's disappointed in me because I am questioning things, and I'll get to a certain point with him. He'll say to me, "I'm not intelligent enough to refute Einstein or Newton or some of your questions, so I'm just going to have to tap out there, right?" And so that's my father. But when it comes to some of these conversations, I am fully in appreciation of physics, the people who understand electricity and all the technology we utilize. And I really appreciate it. I came to it a bit later in life. I didn't go, through 386 and 486s. I had a Commodore Amiga, and then I came away from computers, but I came back to it. And they've helped me incredibly and connect with people all around the world. So,
dude, massive respect to you if you understand coding. I'm actually useless on computers because when I did my degree, it's over 30 years ago. And really, at that point in time, there wasn't so much coding going on in the physics department. Really, the IT department and the physics department were separate. We would take the models to them, and they would construct the codes to build the models for us. So I'm actually hopeless on computers. I understand how electrons flow across sit in wells in close metal oxide semiconductors, but as for coding, I'm lost. When Windows 10 breaks down, I've had it. I defer to someone else at that point.
Yeah.
But Newtonian physics, really, orbital mechanics, and that kind of stuff, it's just ballistic trajectories, the same way bullets fall on Earth.
To really level with you, this is God's honest truth here. I don't mean to say God there, but just trying to be as honest as possible. I have it's only an intuitive sense because I haven't been into, outer space myself. But I just have this sense that for some reason that the universe isn't as big as we've been told, just as from a practical standpoint, my only qualm is why put a species like humanity in such a fuck off big void?
Well, there's not. You're asking a why question. How?
Yeah.
Are the questions I ask, because why questions are kind of dumb. So why is there a cosmos? Why is there a universe? There might be. It's not a dumb, completely dumb question, but how we explain it's the how questions. And it goes back, you can go back to Galileo. And now, did Galileo ever drop 2 cannonballs off the, different size balls to demonstrate the full rate off the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Maybe not. Did an apple fall next to? Actually, it's about 20 miles, Woolsthorpe Manor, where he's born. They're actually in my family tree, in Newton family.
Right.
That's the thing. But how Galileo solved this problem was by rolling. And I'm surprised if he didn't do this at school, rolling balls down ramps to show the square of the acceleration as a ball does, because it's slowed down so you can time it. Galileo was able to do that with water clocks. So yeah, really I would say learn a Newtonian physics. One thing we do, do you know what a presupposition is?
Yes.
Yeah, well, okay, we presuppose the uniformity of nature. The reason for that is that, tomorrow will be the same as today, and it's always been the same as yesterday. And we seem to observe the uniformity of nature. So we presuppose the uniformity of nature with absolutely solid foundations. And it is an odd presupposition. So just to add to that, okay, have you heard of Higgs boson?
I have.
Okay, well, so imagine a U-shaped well. And the lowest energy state would be a ball sitting at the bottom of that well. Now, if it has a ledge, say, on one side, and the Higgs boson is sitting on a ledge, and it can lose energy, if that were to happen, you'd have something called vacuum decay. Vacuum decay. That may have already happened. Possibly, I'm not sure, can't tell you for sure. If that were to happen, the rip would be heading towards us at the speed of light, ergo not able to observe it. So although we presuppose the uniformity of nature, right now there could be vacuum decay heading towards us at the speed of light, and you will dissolve at E equals mc squared into nothing at all, and you won't even know it happened. So it is kind of wacky. Anyway, dude, I'm going to leave it at that because I need a cup of coffee and I need to use the restroom. It's been a pleasure. Like I said, if you do actually want to discuss anything to do with physics, hit me up.
Cheers. No, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll catch you soon, buddy.
Just an unexpected server PMARS. Hey up face. Yeah, I just I saw you in here before, P, so that's why I joined.
Yeah, he invited me over here, and he's been regretting the decision ever since. Who? What? Oh, okay. I appreciate that. I don't know that it was as much of an actual argument. It was just. But we got it worked out.
Yeah, we've got to vote on the weekend for horrible people to choose from. No, I kind of, I don't know if I am banned, but the last occasion I was there, I called Jem a vile a vile little cunt, and like an e-beggar. So I don't think he'd be too keen to have me back at this stage. I really paid out on him about his server and his room and how toxic it is. So,
Did you record it?
but it's my fault. No,
God,
no.
I would have totally recorded that. What she told me.
He's actually, it's weird. Like over the years, I think, like I kind of left for a little while, and when I went back in, he sounded all like happy to see me. You know, like, oh, you know, we were worried about you or we missed you, but. That's what I don't like about Jem, just that gaslighting thing. It's almost like he's your friend on one hand, and then...
Well, they need someone to argue with, so...
Yeah, exactly.
They like...
Someone...
It's like they put up with all this stuff from you, and they didn't put up with anything from me. It's so crazy, you know? Like the double standards.
Yeah. I think they started to realize, early, you know, especially with you, because I think you were very much like a prototype model, and a lot like you really railed against the cult group aesthetic, and you weren't having it, and you were never afraid to speak your own mind. And I think once the you know, those group dynamics, when they realized they couldn't control you, I think they were just too keen to just shut the door, you know, kick you out and shut the door. Which is weak in a lot. To me, it's very weak. But whatever. If they really wanted, you know, chaos or true, you know, pushing of the boundaries or whatever, they should keep people like you around.
Well, it's like... They're in no position to, like, judge anyone, because there's a bunch of doxers and all these, like, shithole people that they allow to stay, so... Like, they're totally just hypocritical.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked listening to you argue with them.
Yeah. I kind of... I think in the end, I didn't have a lot of people I could kind of check out my queries with. Like I've just got major issues with a lot of things, but the Big Bang being one, and I kind of enjoyed some of those exchanges just because, yeah, I just don't get to talk, you know, in a real, like with a physicist like Paul Voigt or something, or Curved Water, or but in the end they just kind of, I what I've learned over the years, they seem happy with the model. I can just see a lot of them just sitting there, just sort of getting fat and old and dying without really challenging anything, and they're just gonna reaffirm the model and call anybody a retard really that tries to think outside of it, which I think is really unproductive, really. So in the end, that's why I feel like I need to start doing different things, because I'm not getting anywhere with it. No one really wants to have that conversation in those circles.
Yeah, I'm glad, I don't know, I'm happier where I am now. I like talking about God more than some horizon or some shit. Some
Yeah.
picture. Talk about the same picture every day for like months. Like, Jesus.
A boat going over a line.
Yeah, how many times can I... Not really that into science.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I like more...
Like,
Yeah.
how's that kind of working out? Like, uh, are you finding people are challenging your faith, or are you encountering more and more atheists, or how's it going?
Well, you know, it's fun. Like, it's fun to battle the atheists, and
Yeah.
I'm learning new things, talking and trying to meet new people and stuff. So it's like broadened my horizons.
Nice. Yeah.
I think you should live life where you're always like growing, you know, and changing.
Yeah. Yeah, stagnation sucks.
So it was a blessing, really, to get banned because it forced me to, change,
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah,
I mean, I of course encounter similar problems like in Christian communities. You know, I get banned there too.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I've got a certain kind of sense of humor, but growing up, we were pretty cheeky, so I I've always appreciated you because you're just really able to push people's buttons so effortlessly, and it's fascinating watching people not really know how to deal with you sometimes. I think that's great. I'm finding like people are always trying to categorize someone. It's like, what is your view? Where can I put you? And then I'll decide how I'm going to treat you, based on my own ideology, I guess. So if you're a racist and you're a bigot and an atheist and transgender, you're probably going to get communicated with a certain way. You know what I mean?
What up?
Face.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey up, man.
Yo, dude. How you been?
Yeah, it's been hard, but I'm kind of finding my way a little bit now. I got a new job, and it's
Nice, bro.
simple, but it just feels like I just didn't. Most of the time, you guys have known me, like I wasn't, working in that capacity.
Yeah.
So I had all this free time, and I think in the end I had too much. It's like I'd retired quite young, and then when I actually got my life back, it was quite scary because I was out of practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of getting the momentum back, and I feel that I'm not watching the news. I'm not buying into all the fear. If I get the thing, I get it. I'd rather that happen than sit there and wear a mask and be afraid. I just want to keep.
Yeah.
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 I
There's
just
not
want
a
to
thing,
keep
bro.
living
There's not
life.
a thing. People got. Ultimately, it comes down to people got sick, and 1 out of 100 people died from that sickness. So you could say that about any sickness. So yeah, obviously, it's not anything to be afraid of at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's weirder shit in the works and stuff. Like forced fucking food shortages and all this garbage. Like it's gonna play out. It's gonna play out one way or another. But I'm with you. It's just like whatever it is, I'm not gonna fear it.
You know what?
Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
It's crazy because Alan Watt on Cutting Through the Matrix, he talked about these food shortages were coming. And now we're having it. Like there was the toilet paper, and then it was eggs, and now it's like baby formula, and You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is all the. What's it called? The practice. You know, just getting people used to
Yeah,
this
getting
idea.
us used to austerity or whatever he's saying. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna make us live with little or and like little or and okay, I'm phrasing that
Right.
poorly.
And to be more inconvenienced for everything that you want to do, like everything that you were used to doing.
Yeah.
For the first two, I mean, the first
Like
2 years of
with
the shit,
9/11,
that's what we were
like
talking about.
whenever we fly, we have to take off our shoes and do all this crap. It's like now we have to like wear a mask and you know. It's like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's the 20-year. It's like every 20 years almost. And they add new weird like inconveniences for us to just get used to under the guise of like being a good person. So like if you went to an airport before and they had you take your fucking shoes off and then put them into the thing and then you walk through and then they make you do it again and then they ask you if you have a laptop, you take the laptop out, they check it, you go through another gate, they check your laptop again. It's like, bro, there's no way I could have made a bomb in this airport from the last 3 gates to this one. You know what I mean? But like to even have and I've done it before, like just as a joke. I've made the joke to those what do they call those guys? Like the
Baggage handlers.
yeah, but what are they called? I'm trying to think of that. The G4S specifically. Like
Right.
I realized that our airport here hired another level of security. So there's like two customs. There's one before and after customs checkpoints kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're private. It's like a G4S, like the biggest security contracting company in the world, involved with a bunch of fucking psyops and Orlando shooting and all that fucking garbage. But like, yeah, pure evil company, and they hire like labor. Like they hire people from Africa and all kinds of countries in Africa that have never been here. They've never lived here. They don't live here. But now it's like, oh, you work at the airport in Kuwait because you work for cheap, you know,
Yeah.
G4S or whatever. And I told him I like this poor African dude like he's not even from here. Like his life is probably shit, you know. He's just checking my laptop because he has to check my laptop. Like that's his job description. So I told
Yeah.
him, I was like, you guys, like when you do this, you think like someone might have built this bomb at the Starbucks airport or what? Like, and then he's like, nah, you know, we laugh and smile it off. But that's the thing is like, we don't want to give the human beings a hard time because we know we don't like to be given a hard time. So those
Yeah.
employees aren't gonna meet. You know what I mean? So what ends up happening is we end up just like internalizing all that shit and be like, oh, just it's okay, you know, prove every day that you're not a terrorist, so that you're doing the good thing. And now it's like the same shit with this, like the virtue signaling about, of course, like having a jab or not having a jab. Oh, you're gonna kill your grandma. Oh, I took the vax so that won't get other people sick. It's like shut the fuck up. No, you didn't. You're a pussy. That's why you got it. You got gaslit and fucking terrorized into getting experimental poison, and because you're so pussy and such a child, you know, you went and got it, and that's fine. You're allowed to, but so am I. I'm allowed to not be a pussy and a child. Like you know.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances on the 1 out of 100 thing killing me because like I play poker and shit. Like I think I'm pretty good at calculating odds, and I like those odds. Like I'll take those. I'll take that. I like my life just as it is. Leave me the fuck alone, and you know what I mean. But it's this constant like conditioning, bro. We're just
Yeah.
being slow conditioned. So whatever it is, like sorry I went on that whole rant, but it was
No,
just
no,
because
you're
you
fine.
said it's because you said you're not afraid, and yeah, don't be afraid, and like don't even because they're gonna make it scarier. That's the thing is like
Yeah.
this thing is gonna get ramped up. Bill Gates is sitting over there jizzing in his fucking pants every time he talks. The anti-vaxxers are not gonna be able to deny the next one. They're like working on a contagious vaccine. Although all the conspiracy theorists were already saying that like this vaccine is like contagious and like don't you know you have the
Yeah.
super paranoid people. They're like, don't hang out with the vaccinated. Don't fucking breathe and drink and eat with
Yeah.
them and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like
I was,
that's the next plan is to actually make that a reality. Either that or he's trying to like psychologically continue to just mind fuck the public. Either
Mhm.
way, I'm not afraid of it. Like I don't care. Like the worst thing you could do to me is kill me. That's not like a threat to me. Like I've been
No.
ready to die my whole life, dude. It's fucking weird, but like I'm not. I no, I swear, I'm just not rushing the
Yeah,
process.
I
Like,
understand. I
yeah,
understand.
I've been over it. You know what I mean? It's just like, get me the fuck out of here. Whatever's next, let's go. You know, let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, um, I think it makes me think of my grandma for some reason, like, because she went through it in the war, and we had, the depression, they called it.
Yeah.
Ironically, but I remember her saying to me little things like tea and sugar, butter, jam, and bread, like those staples that everybody just takes for granted now. Whenever they'd get them at the time in the depression, it was like luxury, and that's the weird thing of the austerity and the scarcity and those hard times that if people were eating things like baked beans and tuna and rice, just sort of boring staple foods, when you get something like that, it is like a significant special
Oh, for
thing,
sure.
and so it's always like there's even Ed was saying that before, the thing of like the chaos and the order and embracing both. So I'm just really I I kind of already feel like when I was little, I've just had enough of the fear. I've had so much of it in my life. I'm not saying I'm immune to it, but I'm kind of over it. So I'm in spite of that, I want to come more into the light, back to my heart, back to love, even if that makes me a hippie or whatever. I don't care. That's where I feel centered and alive, and it makes me feel like I'm doing what the last thing I say is like with love. To me, things make sense. Like without it, things really don't. It really is that stark for me. So it's sort of a place I keep arriving. But not just loving like so people can walk all over me. I just more mean that I'm trying to be not too judgmental of people, and I think it's forcing me in a way to look at people's humanity more,
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
how vulnerable we all are, and there's a sweet
100%, dude.
yeah, there's a
And that's
sweetness
what it
there.
means to love everyone, I think. Like, I used to, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have told you that that's like a preposterous notion. And like, my rational side would be like, no, like, what is love if you just love everyone then? What makes it special? You get it? Like, so I love,
Yeah.
like, my family the way I love people I don't know, or the way I love, like, a fucking violent criminal.
Mhm.
So my default on that was always like, that's a fucking stupid idea and stuff. But like now, like when I listen to like people talk about like overcoming their problems and shit by like like genuinely expressing love, or like having love for all. I try to understand what the fuck that means. Like, okay, so what's like the practical way I could actually do that? Because like there's people that I know in my life that I can't stand. Like, imagine I just say I love that person. I'm like, ew, what the fuck? Like, no, dude, I don't. If I never see you again, I'd be really happy. But then I then I kind of got it, dude. And it's more of like, it's more about you than it is about them. And it's
Mm.
about you saying that, like, to love, I guess, is to ultimately like understand. So it's like I could disagree with you fundamentally about everything in the world, like every fucking thing, like that person that you were describing, the trans, racist, like all the labels, right? That if they talk to me, they would just think I'm a piece of shit, and me, I'd just be like, yo, I get it. But that's the thing, I get it, right? So like, if you can understand, if you could like work it out in your brain, why a person is the way they are, regardless of how you feel of those traits, like if I hate it or I love it, there's a reason and a set of experiences and all kinds of shit that like led to that person being the way they are. You get it?
Mm.
And I
Yep.
think if you just accept that much, so it's like, yeah, dude, I think you're retarded and I disagree with everything you say, but I love you. You know why? Because like I understand where you're coming from. Like I get why you're so passionate about the things you say, and I get it. I get it. You know? But like the
Yeah.
only part in my head that I have a problem with thinking about that is like dishonest people. Because
Mm.
I could do that with an honest person. If they're being honest and and fucking disagreeing with me about everything, we could still come to that conclusion. Like I have friends like that. They think I'm wrong all the time, and I'm just like, no, bro. Like You know, later down the line they'll admit it and shit. They'll be like, "Oh, you were right." I was like, "Yeah," you know. But I'm just saying, like it's the interaction that matters. Like if they're not honest, so like the people sometimes you talk about like Gem Pandas as a reference, right? Like if I go in there, to this day I wouldn't be able to tell you like who's being honest here and who's not. Like they play positions, right? Like, oh, I have to, you know, I agree with everything fucking it's establishment science says, and like and then there's the contrarians, and like I get it. But like when you express your views, are you being honest? That's all I fucking care about. Like, tell me what you think
Sure.
and why
Yeah.
you think it. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
fine. That's more than enough. Like, you don't ever have to agree with me. That thing that you were just asking in the server about like who thinks like Earth is moving through space and shit. Like, I'd be curious to know what people thought too, but it wouldn't affect my like uh feelings toward them. You know? I'd just be like,
Right.
oh, okay, yeah, I get why you
Yeah.
think that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And that's what this shit always needed more of, dude. It's been too long. It's been too long. Like, that's why I can't take people who are debating each other and like fighting each other about it still seriously. Like, if you guys just met and you want to have that little, like, you want to do like flat earth debates for a couple hours, cool, bro. But if you guys been talking for 5 years and you're still debating the same points, like you and P were talking about earlier about the pictures and shit,
yeah.
and it's like now I have to assume that either you're actually retarded, like one of you is slow, like you're retarded, like you're held back. Understand? Like what takes a person a year to go through, it'll take you a decade. It's either that
Sure.
or they're being dishonest. You know what I mean? Because there's no like think of any other topic in your life, dude, that you would be willing to argue about that topic. You'd be willing to argue the same 3 points in rotation for like 5 or 6 years. I bet you couldn't think of one. You know? It's the only one, dude. It's the only thing. Literally everything else you move on from, even if it's like your favorite album. Like if a guy wants to debate you, like this is the worst album of all time, and so like you'll have that debate, and you might even revisit that debate like a year later. But imagine just doing it like daily or weekly, for as long as you know the guy. Like you grow up into old age, and you're sitting there, you know, refraction. This guy's like, no, you don't understand orbital mechanics.
I really I mean I'm kind of proud of myself, but it was to my own detriment. But this moment happened phase where it became about mental illness, and it was so raw, and I had a few people say it my way. It was directed at me, and I've never felt anything like it. It was so strange. It was like Jibby was there, Des. It was almost like my ancestors, everyone that's ever been burned. I felt this energy like almost superhuman. It was so big, and I just unleashed it on them. Like I was literally in the street almost spitting on my phone, and it was the pushback of kind of a little bit Greta Thunberg. Like it had a touch of how dare you in there, but it was almost like fighting for all the people who've been marginalized and that just want to be or want to think differently for whatever reason they do, or they don't like the mainstream, or they don't fit, whatever it is, for the reason why someone doesn't fit in perfectly, like a
Right.
a fucking square peg in this square fucking slot, and it's like a glove. And it
I think I heard
came and
that. Was that with you raging out with what's his name? Shield Scanner?
I'm not even sure. Like with most of it was directed at
Them and them. Yeah, but
Hannah. Yeah, it
okay,
was.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm just like Shield Scanner was there though. Someone uploaded that to YouTube. It was like on YouTube for like a day and then it went away.
yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't get
heard
to
that one.
see it because yeah, you had to do some age
I was
thing.
just like,
But
oh, this is classic Merle. I didn't like To me, that could have been taken exactly from 2018, and it would have been just like I would have been like, "Oh, there's someone just uploaded an old like,"
Oh my God.
you know?
I'd never felt so angry in all my life. It was
Did you
really
ask them
intense.
how
Bro,
how do you wash your
you
vagina?
say vagina. Yeah, bro, you've done this like 100. But I feel you. Like that's what happens. Like some people, that's what they do, right? Like you're a really nice person, bro. Like I don't know what you're like in real life. I hope you haven't ever stabbed anyone or anything. But like you seem like that's what I was worried about with you. It's like if I would have met you in real life, I'd be like, yeah, I'd have a drink with Merle, but I would be on alert that he just for whatever reason, like at some point, might just stab me. You know, like I'd have my guard up a little bit.
Holy shit. See, this is
But
the thing, because yeah. It
but
happened
the
with a
point is,
girl too, Chris, yeah.
what, that you stabbed someone?
No,
Oh, okay, good.
I heard he
the,
gave
the,
Antonio cancer.
I think there's this kind of fine line there, like it and that's kind of what I'm addressing. I I've never been to jail. I haven't got a criminal record. Even when shit got a bit crazy with my mom and my next door neighbor,
Oh
they're
yeah,
very
shit.
particular kind of circumstances. And there was even a little bit of a phase where my mom and me like even like threw down, and that was just really weird, like strange behavior. But now, seeing mum with dementia, it makes sense what was happening. So
Right.
it's so like the pre all that, and she there's all this huge chunk of her life that's just vanished. Like it's just deleted. It's gone. I'll say things to her and shit. There's no recollection. It's gone. I don't even know if I could fucking reboot it. So I mean that's been brutal to see that happen. But like the blurring of internet rage and who I really am as a person, that's what needs to be attended, because I had a really beautiful connection with this person, and we were getting closer together, and then a whole bunch of people in Gems said exactly what you just said, and she got scared of me and like retreated. So yeah, so it
Really? Why the
yeah.
fuck did you take your relationship to Gems, dude?
She was just in it just sort of happened.
Yeah, bad. Don't do that.
She just kind of emerged in that room, and and then we connected, and but because I was seen as the crazy flat earther.
Oh wait,
But
you met her in that room, or she?
yeah,
actually-
I met
Oh, okay.
her in that room, and she genuinely joined a little bit as a troll, but she'd heard about, she's early 20s, but she'd heard about it and was trying to figure out what the hell was going on, like a lot of young people. Is this really a thing? Oh my god, people actually think this, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't
But-
think
yeah.
you're a bad person. I don't think you should let them, because those aren't your friends. I mean, I think that's established by now.
No.
So it's like, yeah, you don't
Early
wanna-
20s,
don't-
so that's too old for M. Scott Beach at least.
Yeah. You gotta just don't share the good things in your life with those fucking miserable people.
No, well, that's kind of, it's funny because I've just recently left and pretty much said to them that you guys actually fucked with my real life,
That's what
And-
they've been
and-
trying to do, bro.
it genuinely hurt and disrupted, something beautiful that was happening in my life. And I kind of, I've got to learn to forgive and move forward, but it really hurt me. So I definitely know that now, and that's part of the reason why I've re-emerged today. Even Twitwit, P, like there's a few people that I've always got time for, and I've I've just found Discord kind of a bit. Yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling a bit, but it's just been. If you could see the succession of events, the way it, like my mum sort of fell, and anyway, it was like this chain reaction, and it's been really full on. And just recently, I've started to feel like I'm climbing out of the pit of doom, and so that's why I've come back. I felt really weak and burnt out, and I couldn't take any more. Even I don't mean to sound like a pussy here, but I didn't want to be put down anymore. It kind of got the better of me. So, I am a sensitive soul, man. I just I just felt that this really mattered, but I lost perspective.
Yeah, they're not real people, dude. It's that simple.
No.
Like I've been trying to tell you this for years, but like
Yeah.
it won't, it won't fucking get in there. Like,
No.
yeah, it's cool. I like to talk to people online too, but I'd rather like it be random and like if I don't like them, then it won't be like a repeated thing. You know what I mean? But like you can talk to as many people as you want to, and then you'll find out like,
what's
hey,
up, FaZe? What's up, FaZe?
hey, what's up?
What are you doing, bud?
Huh?
What do you got?
What I got with what?
What do you have any conversation? Any interesting topics? Anything that you want to talk about? The existence of God? Why you're an atheist?
I was just talking to him. I was just talking, and then you cut me off to ask me if I have anything.
No, that's what I mean. I'm asking you. Don't worry about that conversation. You even forgot about what you were talking about.
Who the fuck are you?
It's Bart's room.
Oh.
So now, do you believe in the existence of God?
What do you mean? What is God?
It's not his room, man. Just ignore him.
Well, what is God? If you're gonna have now, see, I'm not trying to be disingenuous here, but if I explain to you what I think God is, then God exists.
Guys, I just trolling. Never mind.
Okay. So
You say
if you want me to define God, I'm gonna define God.
no. It's
in
not a
my
challenge.
way.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay. Relax. First of all, I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying like I need to understand what it means in the context that you're asking the question. Because I think there's a creator, and I don't know if a creator equals a god in necessarily. So like it matters. Context matters. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the context is gonna be my understanding of what God is.
Sure. Okay. What's that?
So if you want me to explain it, I'll just cut to the chase and say that God exists.
Cool. Yeah. Good talk, man.
Why would you want me to explain what God is?
I don't want anything from you. You.
Got him.
Why
Yeah.
why do I think that God exists? Or don't think God exists?
Yeah.
I don't know what God is. There's so many lies about God. I don't know that if something created this whole experience that I'm having, whether or not by default that makes it my God and I should worship it. It's kind of controversial. Like atheists hate me and
I never
religious people
said
hate me for this.
anything about worshiping a God. I never said anything like that. I didn't even use that word. It must be
Yeah,
that you have
I did.
some. It must be that you have some presuppositions of what a God is, because I never said that. No, nor did I even explain what my God is, and you said worship. So,
Are you trying to start an argument and it's not happening, or what? Because I told you that that's
do
what I
have
thought.
this
Just like how you
understanding
told
of
me your
what
thought.
God. Then you have an understanding of what God is, and you're just lying.
No, I'm not.
When you asked me what my definition of God is, I said to
You didn't give me one. You didn't give me one. You said
Well,
if I
I know,
think it,
I did.
therefore it is true, and it's like okay.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying God exists
Good
in
for you,
every
bro.
which
All
way,
right.
in
Fantastic.
every which way, shape, or form. So that is
You're
me.
saying words that mean nothing. You understand that? You're just saying
Well, you're
fucking a lot of
responding,
words.
so they have to respond. They have to mean
It's,
something.
no, I'm responding out of frustration because like you keep it's so bad. It's all bad since you.
So then, why does it flow with the conversation if you don't understand what I'm saying?
This guy sucks.
Man, you are the one who already answered him. No one forced
that's
you
the thing,
to
is like,
answer him. No
yeah,
one
I
forced
guess.
you to answer him, dude. It's your
Yeah,
choice.
I know. Yeah, my bad, dude. My bad for being a conversationist. Totally bad. I know. It's not like we're on a voice chat or anything, right?
No, but yeah, and don't take him seriously.
Okay, yeah. I stopped taking him seriously after the first 2 minutes, but like I wanted to see if he was getting somewhere with it, but it seems like you'd rather just have a argument. I'm not one of those people on the internet that you could like bully into getting them to kill themselves and shit. So like, don't even waste your time with me. I'll fuck you up. I'll make you have some weird thoughts.
It's true, I wasted a lot of time trying to get him to do that in Minecraft.
Yeah, I cannot be bullied. I'm unbullyable. I've got it all out of my system. When I
Who
was
said
like
I was?
12.
Wait, who said I was bullying you?
I don't know. You seem a little autistic or something, so I'm not gonna pick on you too much. But you're kind of
Yeah,
aggressive.
if he's autistic, might the God, cure him.
Yeah, for real. Where are you from, fitness man?
Me, I'm from Djibouti.
Oh, okay, nice.
Thanks. Do you know Djibouti?
Yeah.
That sounds like a joke name.
No,
Like I'm-
Djibouti.
I'm
Oh,
from-
look it up, bro.
I'm from your booty or something like that. Like these nuts got him.
No, man. You're 40 years old and you don't know the geography of the earth. Come on. What kind of education did you get, bro?
P-Mars is from Fargo.
I
He's
got
like he's a yeti.
American.
He's like a snow beast.
American
He doesn't
education.
shit. I don't teach about Africa.
Djibouti is not a real country. Ethiopia is a country, not Djibouti.
I'm never gonna leave
No,
America.
Djibouti is a country in Africa.
Djibouti is not a real country. Ethiopia is an actual country. Just
Is
saying.
this Mag Truth? Am I talking to Mag Truth?
Mag, back again on. Now,
Um,
today we gonna get into this so-called what is it? I can't do it. If I stay in it, I could do the fucking accent the whole day. But like if I start laughing, it's over.
Who the fuck invites you fucking idiots in this server? This is what I'm saying. Like, I thought it was supposed to be like troll free.
You're the only one trolling.
Who invited them?
I did.
you could
Oh
you
my
could
god.
trademark name.
I'll leave. Fuck your server, bro. You think I want to be in here? I came in here because Merle and
you-
P-Mars are in here.
You interrupted a conversation, man, to talk about God. I
He's
mean,
definitely a little retarded.
No, I told you, bro. He's trolling. Don't take him seriously. You're
No,
only
no one's
fault-
taking him seriously.
Yeah,
guarantee
the
you.
only fault. I told you so bad that you need to ignore him from the beginning of his joining, right? But you still talking to him, and the conversation has been destroyed. Do not complain. Do not complain about it. I already told you, bro, and you ignored me.
Who's complaining?
You,
retarded. No,
the
no, I'm not.
Merlin is complaining about Bath.
Medlin.
I
That's-
was
that's
just
my
giving him
friend.
a hard
That's my
Time.
friend Bart.
because he was giving us a hard time. I was gonna ask
P-Mars
him.
is like the great peacekeeper of Discord. He brings communities together and shit. He also, that guy was in our server for like 10 minutes or something. You invited him once too.
Yeah, these are like my
He
two
probably read
worlds.
something I wrote there, and that's why he's talking to me about God or something. It's like,
My
what?
two
I never
worlds
said
are
I'm an atheist.
merging.
And you, Lord Trini, what's wrong with Djibouti, bro?
Djibouti is not a real country. It should be part of Ethiopia.
No, we
Djibouti
actually
and
have our
Eritrea-
flag.
Djibouti and Eritrea are not real countries. They need to join Ethiopia.
No, no, man.
That's the issue.
Whatever. Forget about it. Sorry for asking you.
You're welcome.
Eritrea is like a CIA creation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fake country. It's a fake country to destabilize Ethiopia. Just letting you know that. Just divide and rule. Don't be a victim. Rejoin Ethiopia. Sit under the protection of King Menelik. Sorry, I mispronounced that. King Menelik. And Empress Haile Selassie.
Oh, you guys believe in that shit?
You
He's a Templar, dude. He's like he's no different than any other world leader. He wears the same insignia and stuff. There's people that believe that that's a god on earth and stuff. Haile Selassie.
Yeah. Gods. It doesn't really, matter that much. It's the office he holds. It's a label.
I mean, yeah. But like, it's as retarded. It's a little more retarded actually than like people thinking that like Donald Trump is a savior or something too. Like world leaders that are like also like kings but also like godly. And it's like, what the fuck? How? No, they're not. They're in the same cult. They wear the same stuff. Like,
That's,
no different.
that's all of Europe then.
That's all like ancient. I don't know. I think it's like
Not that ancient.
ancient bloodlines, and now they look like people from all over the world, and they have. I think they're all cousins. To be honest.
Queen Elizabeth is what, French and German? And she's sitting on the British throne?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all intermarry. I think it was a way to stop wars from happening because people were related.
No, it's a way to start wars. That's the thing. Is like they use because wars then just become like a chess game between cousins, and like the pawns and everybody is disposable. The people could die. They don't give a shit. They'll make more.
That's true. You have a point.
In World War One, the King of England, the Tsar of Russia, and what is he? Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany were all first cousins. They were all the grandsons of Queen Victoria. I wasn't taught this in school. I learned this as an adult, and if you Google it, it's like apparently it's common knowledge. And I was like, wait, why the fuck didn't they teach us this in school? Because like I was given a completely different reason for the start of World War One. Like now if the major players in World War One were actually all first cousins, that kind of changes my whole perspective on history and like world politics today, that we're still talking in terms of like world wars and stuff.
Yeah, true. If you look at the king of, I think it's Sweden, is it Sweden or Denmark? They represent Europe to the rest of the world. Like when you see, like if the EU is trying to make an agreement with, let's say, China, I think it's either Sweden or Denmark, one of those countries. Their prince is the one who does it, but he's related to Queen Elizabeth. I think that's her second nephew or third nephew or something like that. It is what it is. Old money doesn't die.
Yeah, so it's just weird that we, for us, for like the peasants, there's these different stories. Like the real story exists too. Well, at least the crux of it does. Like something that would make you be like, wait, how does this add up? Yeah, but we're not told that, and then that's why it makes any conversation about like your perception about the world and everything in it, like it's valid to have, because there's just bad explanations for things as they stand. There's two or several sets of information for everything. And it's like, you could sit and pick holes in all of them, but if one thing is true, then how does it make the other story true as well?
I hold the same view about religion, that there's a slave religion and there's a master religion. Two totally different things.
I think so too. Yep.
I thought how flat earthers and atheists had very similar arguments.
Okay, Mars.
So, like, the theist has a metaphysical model, right, to rely on, to go by, the God, and the atheist will say, like, oh, I'm skeptical of your model, but then they don't even offer another model as, like, what's an alternative, you know, like, okay, well, how does it work without this model? But the flat earther will do the same thing. He'll say, oh, I don't believe in this globe model, but he offers no, like, alternative to the globe model, so it's like a similar argumentation, I think.
Well, what about if they find flaws in the model? Then can you invalidate a model off of that? Can it just be a conception that's not like fucking fine-tuned to perfectly working model?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Unreal.
Either
It's
way,
like
for either
yeah.
side, like that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's like when you're born into a construct you didn't conceive, are you allowed to question it? And then you gotta wonder, like, who were these old men with cobwebs and dusty books anyway?
I just want to know how Galileo saw it better than anything I could see in the night sky. And I have a P900, and he had a piece of wood with 2 fucking mirrors on it. Like, no, I'm serious.
Right.
You could look up.
Yeah.
You could look his shit up. You could Google it. It's in a museum, but there's also pictures of it. Like Galileo's telescope, dude. It's a piece of garbage. It's a piece of shit. It's literally really bad. Like my
It's not
iPhone
bad.
has better optical zoom on it than and most zoom on iPhone is like digital. Once it goes past like what 40 feet or something, it's like it's retarded. You know? So like I bought a camera just to look at the stars and just to look at the moon, and this thing has a fucking 130 times optical zoom. Like Galileo can't fuck with me. There's no way. If we live in the same Earth and the distances to those things in the sky haven't changed and shit, he's a fucking liar. That's it. You didn't look up and see fucking marbles in the sky that you could go inhabit. No fucking way. I've been trying for 5 years, bro. Like, it's not there. You know what I mean? There's dots, there's weird lights, there's like flickering shit. It's all kind of bizarre shit, but it's like it's definitely not that thing in the picture book. And that Galileo, 500 years ago they saw no they didn't. No one saw shit 500 years ago. They had clear night skies, I'll give you that, but like yeah, distance-wise you're talking about billions of years, billions of light years out. They were seeing that 500 years ago. With what technology? The toothpick and the fucking mirrors. It's trash. Like that's the thing. I tell people to look at this when they want to talk to me about Galileo. I'm like, bro, just type in Google Galileo's telescope. Just type it real quick, and then come up with me and let me show you my P1000. How hardcore the zoom is. Shit weighs like 5 pounds. Like the heaviest camera I've ever held. Fuck Galileo, man. That sucks. Freemason garbage. I swear, dude. Just overrated trash. Like there's no substance there. It's just like a bunch of fucking. He's the Carl Sagan of his time. Like he's the guy they just point to in these wizards that like try to put you in a trance with, like talking about billions and infinity and all this. She's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a human, man. You've been here for how many years? Like you don't know more than anybody. Shut up, bro. Shut the fuck up. Stop trying to hypnotize people with like science talk. I hate that shit.
It's pretty fancy.
What, his telescope?
Yeah.
Which one are you? Hold up, bro. Which one are you looking at? There's no way you're looking at the thing that I'm.
I'll send it to you.
It shouldn't be something modern that they like named after him. No, that's not the one. Oh, here's the one. It's the flute-looking thing.
Yeah, this thing.
It sucks, dude. It's like a wand. It's so garbage. No, that's fucking cool. See, that's a see that you could argue and you could be like, yeah, no, here. What is Here, bro. This is the joint I'm talking about. Piece of shit. It's like an old man's cane, dude. He put a mirror on it one day when he was walking because he was bored, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll make you the greatest fucking." What's up with the screenshot? There it is.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that thing. What the right, dude? Right? Because the people that claim to have sent technology outside of the solar system at this point, right? The same people that sent the Voyager out, the same people that claim they just touched the fucking sun's corona like 2 weeks ago, right? They also tell you that the guy that owned this fucking stick that you're looking at knew all that shit 500 years ago. So for you to question any of it, makes you the biggest imbecile, because the guy that owned this stick right here 500 years ago figured it out. And it's like, you can't, and we give you everything. There's something wrong with that. Like, it's like, oh, you guys are clearly lying, and this guy was just like some dude who like was bored. You know? Like, imagine how cool it was when he realized that like he could magnify objects. That's what I think Galileo did. Like, he put a bunch of mirrors in that stick and then said, look, if I look in one end and then I look at the other end, it's like, it's bigger. That's it. He wasn't seeing detailed planets and stuff. It's just, there's no way. Make it happen. Like, here, hold up. Let me click this fucking thing, because I'm pretty sure they'd say, oh my god, it's so bad. If you click and it just has these drawings of him, you know, looking all like.
Yeah, I'm stunned. Genuinely, like
sitting with all the like old.
It really is.
High society of his time, like, oh, look, what have you discovered today, dude? With your 2x magnifying glass, like, what did you do?
Yeah.
They call it a 30 power telescope here. On January 7th, 1610, he turned his new 30 power telescope towards Jupiter and found 3 small bright stars near the planet. One off to the west, the other 2 were to the east, and all 3 were in a straight line. The following evening, Galileo once again took a look at Jupiter and found that all 3 of the stars were now west of the planet, still in a straight line. And there were more discoveries awaiting Galileo's telescope. The appearance of bumps next to the Platinum planet, the edges of Saturn's rings, spots on the sun's surface, aka sunspots. So he pointed that fucking stick at the sun and spotted sunspots. That's funny, dude. What the hell happened to my sound?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a bit zoned out of. I didn't sleep well last night, and I've been cleaning cars and shit. I'm just really zoned out, tired.
Me too. I woke up at 4 a.m. I've been sleeping early and waking up super early. Now it's like 5 p.m. almost.
Yeah, man.
Terrible idea to get some coffee.
I'm keen to reconnect at some stage, you know, and yeah.
Always, dude. Yeah, when you have time, just do that thing. Just VC, like Ed too. Ed, he's always working on shit now, but like he's working out of his garage, I think, or like his workshop. So he's always says he has time. Just do that thing. Everyone, VC, whoever's there, will jump in. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Stick around this time. Like last time, I told Twitwit and P-Mars both to bring you in, and then they did, and then like you came for like a minute and then left, and then we had a couple laughs about it. You back? We're happy again. We're gonna keep
Yeah,
celebrating every return. It's not Gem Pandas, dude. It's like the people that actually
Yeah.
want to talk to you and shit.
I wasn't quite strong enough, and
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good.
yeah, and I went through a bit of a weed binge. I got some really strong weed. I live with this guy from Afghanistan, and like we just
hell
hit
yeah.
it really hard, and but I think I kind of went into a bit of a doom hole. My thoughts went really dark, and it wasn't cool. So I had to pull myself out of that, but I feel good now. Yeah, it
Awesome,
was
dude.
hectic.
Yeah, don't worry about that, and come like let it out over here in a healthy way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. Like we're coping with a retarded fucking existence, and it's like we could have fun in it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's the thing. That's really the salvage operation now. It really is.
Yeah. Because like in a way, even if you recognize like all the ills of the world, but you let it get you down, I feel like you still lose.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
not
It's the same as being the dumbass who's falling for the psyop, and to actually be like upset or hurt by the psyop. So it's like I'm gonna try to not let that shit affect me, and like now for the time that I'm here, I'm trying to actually enjoy it. So that means I'm talking to people that I want to talk to. I'm not gonna talk to people that just like aren't worth talking to.
drain your
And we're old
energy.
enough to know the difference, you know? Yeah, we're old now. That's it. So it's like we can be selective with our time and shit. It's cool. Fun.
Mhm.
So do
Yeah.
it, dude. Anytime, literally, huh? Just let us know
Okay.
in there. Just go ahead, like add us.
Yeah,
I don't
do
know.
it.
Cool, bro.
Okay.
Ronya.
You take care of yourself
Yeah,
too.
you too, man.
PMAS.
Peace, buddies.
I'm just gonna. I need to get some sleep, but thanks for being you.
All right, Merle. Have a good night.
You too, man. I'll catch up. Yeah. And
on.
Lord One Knowledge Guy. Take care, man.
P-Boss, this is your crew, P-Boss? This is your T-Boss Special Olympians?
They're playing nice in another addition to them trying to look impartial. Yeah, definitely. 2018, it was enough to accuse. Too much influence. Holy shit. Just because she genuinely doesn't know what kind of image she's presenting to the world and fiercely believes in her own bias. I think that it's just as simple as this, right? She, like, you remember whenever she was mad that Johnny was surrounded by yes men? I think that she is probably also surrounded by people that tell her that she's right all the time too. People like that psychiatrist that they brought, or psychologist, excuse me, that they brought on that, you know, like used like him and her whenever it was things. Yeah, you know, yeah, she's having people like that coddle her and tell her that she's right, and you know, of course they're gonna tell her that. That's what they're getting paid to do. It makes sense. But this is just, holy shit. Holy fucking shit.
All right.
Oh my god. Saying it.
So directing your attention, Ms. Heard.
It's U.S. media.
Where it says
You shouldn't say
her
don't trust any mainstream
spokeswoman
media.
responded in a statement.
Yeah, don't trust any
The
mainstream
language
media.
that follows.
Don't trust them.
Again, she can't read it. She has to show
I
the
didn't
language that
misspeak. I meant that.
follows.
Right.
I think they're all liars.
If you want to lay a
Is this-
foundation to that.
I hate them.
Go ahead.
You released a statement after Mr. Depp donated $100,000 to the ACLU and $100,000 to CHLA. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And the language that follows is the statement you released in response to Mr. Depp's donations, right?
I don't know if this is the official statement. I have no idea.
The statement that starts
Objection, Your Honor.
at Amber Heard. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Would you please read that to yourself, Ms. Heard?
Uh-oh. Here we go. We're going to read along. Let's see it.
Yes.
Did you read all the way to the very bottom where the last word is supported?
Well, let's read
Yes.
out loud.
That's
Haven't
a
we been to
statement you
class?
released through your spokeswoman after Mr. Depp made the donations to the CHLA and the ACLU. Correct, Ms. Heard?
Okay.
I do not recall exactly what my statement was. I don't disagree with anything in the statement, but I just simply don't recall what the statement was we released.
That
Is
would
there
make
anything
sense.
inaccurate in that statement, Ms. Heard?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to move to admit.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection.
Ah.
1260 in evidence.
Yep, there it is.
Thank
There
you.
it is. Let's get this done. Oh, overruled. Nope. Shut up. Here we go.
Statement reads, Amber Heard appreciates Johnny Depp's novel interest in supporting two of her favorite charities, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union for Domestic Violence,
Yeah.
and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This is great and unexpected news.
Unexpected.
And it
Oh, that's
continues.
cute. That's so cute.
However,
Little sneak diss
if Johnny
in there.
wishes to change the settlement agreement, we must insist that he honor the full amount by donating $14 million to charity, which, after accounting for his tax deduction, is equal to his $7 million payment obligation to Amber. And it continues. We would also insist that the full amount be paid immediately and not drawn out over many years.
Yeah.
Anything less would be a transparent attempt by Johnny's counsel, Laura Wasser and Patty Glazer, to reduce their client's true payment by half under the guise of newfound concern for charities that he has never previously supported, end quote.
Oh my God. And they're going to show him supporting it in the past. Uh-oh.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Thank you. After this, you kept commenting about the donation of your divorce settlement, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. You spoke about donating your divorce settlement on a Danish TV show, correct?
I believe I said I had, I believe I said I donated it to charity, but it was already printed or already commented on and stated in the press. I had already released that information in the press. I think I just confirmed it on that show.
You
Okay.
appeared on a show called RTL Late Night, right?
I don't recall what show it was.
If we could please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 346, which is a portion of your appearance on
Oh
this
my
program.
God.
And we would
Let's
ask that
roll
it be
the
moved
tape.
into
Let's
evidence
see it.
and ask for
Any
permission to
objection?
Your
publish
Honor,
it.
it contains, it has hearsay, it contains other communications with other individuals.
Your Honor, if we may approach
Okay.
very briefly.
Okay, all right, here we go. They have everything. Yeah, it is just, man, it is not looking good. Can't keep up with the lies. Yeah, this just, yeah, want to refresh your memory. All right, here we go. And this is going to be probably her saying that she's already donated everything or something stupid like that. Yeah, it's slaughter. I mean, this is bad, man. This really is bad. This is so satisfying. I agree. I think it is too. I think it's fucking hilarious. So I'm, wow. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God, man. It's just nuts. I feel bad for this shit. I really do. Like, this is, it's just sad to see this shit happen to somebody, right? I mean, to just get, like, has anybody ever been got on this level before? I don't even know. Like, how is, like, I've never seen somebody be got by this on like, it's just, it's so definitive. You know, it's so like, boom, there it is. It is what it is. I've never cheered for someone's downfall like this. Oh, I do all the time. Do it more. It feels great. Yeah, this is awful. Yeah, you and WoW. Yeah, this is like me and WoW whenever I go at the end of the mount off and I know the other guy has like 50 more mounts than I do, and I get on the 3 mounts that came out 10 years ago that he doesn't have, and then I just keep getting on new mounts that like he has, and I'm just like, oh no, what's gonna happen? I'm losing. That's exactly what it feels like. They call him Chris. Thanks for the 10 subs, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. This is just fucking sad, man. It really is. Cheering all the time for Blizzard's downfall. I don't cheer for Blizzard's downfall. I just cheer for certain people's downfall, like the molesters, you know? Oh my God. This is awful. This bitch really fucking up real abuse victims. Basically a cry wolf scenario. Yep, you are definitely right. You are 100% right, and that is 200% true. Holy shit. Oh my God, dude. Oh my fucking God, dude. It's just a bad time. I think that's really what I would say, is it's just straight up a bad fucking time for her. Spark it up. Thanks for the 5 good subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's about time. Men have been crucified for years over this crap. About time women get in trouble for false allegations. What they do. Yeah, true.
So if we could please
True.
play and publish to the jury Plaintiff's
Donate?
Exhibit
Yep.
346.
All right, here we go. Let's see her talking about her doing
and
the
actually
donations.
Were all kinds of accusations flying your way when you said all this, and then there was a divorce.
That's crazy. I can't believe that. What happened to the audio? Lol.
$7 million in total
good.
was donated to. I split it between the ACLU
Was
and
donated.
Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States. It's called the American
Right.
Civil Liberties Union,
Yep.
and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
Well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never
I
heard
wanted
of.
nothing.
But
This interview was in October of 2018, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't recall when it was.
Look at
It
that.
was in 2018. Right, Ms.
Look
Heard?
at that.
I don't remember when this was done.
This was after you had received the full $7 million of your divorce settlement from Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
Again, without knowing when it was recorded, I have no idea.
The $7 million divorce settlement was paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
And when
Let's
was the
take a look
show?
at Defendant's Exhibit 14.
Yeah, and when was the
which is
show?
already in evidence.
That's what I'm curious about. If all this happened, when did the show happen? Oh my
This is
God.
the deal point memorandum from your divorce settlement, right, Ms. Heard?
Here we go.
Yes,
October.
that's what it looks like.
Isn't that interesting?
If we go down to the bottom of page 4.
What? But I thought, so that would be after, right?
There's a heading labeled equalization payment. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And underneath,
I think in addition to consideration of all the above, Johnny shall pay to Amber a sum of $700,000. Okay, yeah, sorry, I don't know why this audio is cutting out. It's annoying, but hopefully it'll be fixed soon. It's crazy now she can just remember all this. Wow. $7 million.
so the first payment is scheduled for August 31st, 2016, and that's $200,000, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made that payment directly.
Ah.
You got to turn on your microphone, Ms. Berderhoff. I'm not going to hear you.
Objection to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to. That.
Okay.
She didn't have her mic on. Oh my God.
Literally testified to it in court.
I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that
Now
he
I
made the
understand why they
payment
couldn't
directly
figure
to
out
the
the metadata
ACLU
thing.
and CHLA, correct?
I believe so.
What is this? Like, why is this
Were all
happening?
made to you, weren't they?
Oh, she says
That
I
is
believe
correct.
so.
And the final payment of $2.3 million is on February 1st, 2018, right?
The final payment, yes.
And you were here in
Uh-huh.
court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule.
I'm going to object to her testifying to what
No.
Mr. White testified to.
I'll
It's
overrule the
improper.
objection. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule, right?
I don't believe they were. He might have
That's
testified
not my
to that.
question, Ms. Heard.
Yeah.
My question was, you were here in court when Mr. White testified under oath that all
That's
the
the
payments were
accountant
made
guy, by the
on
way.
schedule.
The
I
numbers
was here every
dude.
day in court. I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay.
Overruled.
So
Yeah,
back to
there it is.
October of 2018. This was before Mr. Depp sued you for defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
Nah.
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So that would make sense.
So in October of 2018, you had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement.
It seems
You
that
agree
way.
with me.
That is correct.
And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp.
This is October. Correct.
So in this
So she
October
withheld
2018
donating the
interview,
money.
You said that you had, quote, donated
Oh,
end quote,
no.
your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated
Oh,
to.
no.
I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Oh,
end quote.
no.
Right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I
Wow.
pledged it right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
That's correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million
So
settlement
you
to charity
lied.
at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Oh.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety
No,
of the
Ms.
settlement,
Yeah,
$7
that's
million
not my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms.
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Heard,
those obligations.
Ms. Heard, that's not my question. Please,
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question.
The
Sitting
pledge.
here today, you have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated, $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
Say it.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another.
So
They are
say
something.
it.
Ms. Heard, I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms.
No,
Heard,
they're not.
Respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And
That-
as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet.
That-
Johnny sued me.
So as of today,
Oh.
you have not donated,
Anything.
paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity,
Oh.
right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
You haven't done it.
And that's because you did want something.
Yeah. It
I
seems
didn't
that
want
way.
anything, and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it. Wasn't interested in it.
But you just
I
did.
loved Johnny. That's why I was with him.
You wanted praise for donating the money, right?
That's incorrect.
Oh, then
you
why'd
wanted
you say
the
it?
press.
In general, one.
Yeah, of course
has
you
wanted
did. To get
press,
rid of the
yes.
gold digger
You
accusation.
wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Yeah, of course she.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name, and at the
Clearing
time,
my
I
name,
was being
exactly.
called a liar, and my motives were
Holy
being questioned.
shit.
I did see it as important to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make
Oh
sure
my
that
God.
there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and had more publicity reach.
Oh, okay.
You wanted to remind everyone of your claims of domestic violence against Mr. Depp, right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You wanted to make those claims seem believable.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them
To
to
who?
be seen. You wanted to be seen, as a noble victim of domestic violence.
I
didn't
have
you?
never wanted to be seen as a victim.
Uh-huh.
Nor have I
You-
ever called myself one.
That's why you wrote the article about being a victim.
You testified under oath that, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after. You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
All right.
No.
You know what it's going to be.
Ms. Heard,
You know what-
That's really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the objection, and we'll just move forward.
Thank
Let's
you.
move forward. Next
Okay,
question.
here we go.
Under oath, that statement wasn't true, was it, Ms. Heard?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote. That statement wasn't true.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
The statement...
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay for the entire house at one time.
Respectfully,
You pay it
I'm
over
not
time.
asking, Ms. Hurd.
All right, next question, please.
Thank you.
Yes, you are in a legal
That statement
agreement.
isn't true today.
That's not
As you
the
sit
way
here
it
today,
works.
is it?
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But you didn't donate
That's
it.
a legal agreement.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a no,
obligations.
right, Ms. Hurd?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to fulfill those pledges because I've been sued.
You had all of the $7 million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you
Yeah.
chose not to pay it to the charities
Yeah.
you pledged it to. Is that correct, Ms.
I
Hurd?
disagree with your characterization of that.
Okay, how?
Let's look at your sworn testimony from the UK.
No, here we go. Oh my God, this is brutal. This is fucking brutal. Who true character? Yep, there it is. Imagine thinking a mortgage is the same as some pledge. Like she signs a contract.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Bro, I pledge you 5 gifted subs in 100 years. Well, I'll hold you to
Do you
that.
want me to close the shades? Okay. There's this light coming across. And
So I appreciate that.
Has to be a
It's
little
probably
more
good light. Thank you, Your Honor.
all right.
Because God wanted to tune in for this part, man. He was ready to see this shit. He was waiting for this shit for a while. Look at that binder. Oh my God.
This is your third witness statement that you submitted in the UK action, right, Ms. Hurd?
Correct.
And
Okay.
the statement was made under oath.
Here
True?
we go.
That is true.
I'm directing your attention to the last page
Yeah.
of that statement. That's your signature, right?
Yes, it is.
So you made this sworn statement on February 26, 2020.
That's correct.
And directing your attention to paragraph 4.
Here we go.
It says, quote, I remained financially independent from him the whole time we were together.
I wonder how.
And the entire amount of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
The him you were referring to is Mr. Depp.
That is correct.
Yeah. That's interesting because it
Most
didn't
of the
happen.
money that was donated to the ACLU and CHLA in your name came from someone else. Isn't that right?
I don't know what you mean by most of.
Well, at least
She's getting
$500,000 that was donated to the ACLU in your name wasn't paid by you, right?
I believe Elon made a donation in my honor on one of the years.
So
And
no.
it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce
So
settlement,
no.
right?
No, nor did it count towards my pledge.
And at least $500,000 that was donated to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in your name wasn't paid by you either.
Right, those were made at the same time.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement.
Nor did it count to my 3.5 obligation.
Those $500,000 payments came from your new boyfriend, Elon Musk, right?
I don't know if he was a new boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
You got him to pay part of what you promised to these two charities, didn't you?
Incorrect.
Because you wanted to keep at least
Tesla
some
Motors
$7
gifted
million
10
divorce
subs.
settlement for yourself, right?
You're very wrong about that.
I think this,
Thanks.
if Your Honor's
Okay,
fine,
you said
this is a good
it's
stopping
breaking
point.
point. Okay, that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll stop here for the evening. Remember tonight, do not do any outside research and do not discuss the case with anybody. I know these days are a little longer, but I
Oh,
appreciate
my-
your patience and your taking care of everything here. Please take care of yourself
Oh,
tonight.
my
Okay, we'll see you in
God.
the morning at 9 a.m.
Simp, Elon's just trying to be a good guy. He's just trying to be a good guy, a nice guy, and she's pulling this bullshit on him, man. Like she's bringing him into this this bullshit. Like can't wait, bro. Like this is bad. Like
Again,
this
Ms.
is.
Hurd, since you're still on the witness stand, please do not discuss your testimony.
Oh
with
my
anybody from your
fucking
attorneys, okay?
God, this is
All right,
bad.
9 o'clock tomorrow then? All right.
This
we'll
means
see
she
you at 9 o'clock.
lied under oath? Who's surprised about that? Who the hell's surprised about that? She's lying all the time. She a lying ass bitch. What the hell do you expect? What do you think, she's gonna turn it off and on? No, man, this is just what she does. Perjury though? But she's crazy, so they're gonna be able to get her out of it. It's okay. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Now, if she does get charged for perjury, that would be really funny. Like, that would be really, really fucking funny. Yeah, lawyers are hugging each other. Yeah, because like this is it. Like this is like, you have to understand. Like, this is such a high-profile case. Like, that girl, that woman, the lawyer, right? Her is never gonna have to worry about finding another job again. You understand? Like, she's just like, okay, boom, there it is. Like, yeah, we want. Like, the next celebrity to have shit like this happen, like, whenever they talk to their fucking agent or whoever, they're like, who do you want to represent you? He's gonna be like, I want her. Absolutely. Oh my fucking God, this is wild, man. Holy shit. It's just an attack on her credibility? Well, yeah, it is. But, like, the thing is like, all of her statements are built around her credibility. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you like, everything that she's doing, everything that she's saying centers around her credibility. So you can't just say, like, oh, it's just attacking her credibility, because, yes, you're exactly right, that's what they're doing. But that's the only thing that she has is her credibility. Because there's nothing else that you can tell. Like, you can't go and see, like, anything else. All she has is her credibility. Ironically, she was right about that. The only thing that she has is her word and her name. And we've seen how valuable that truly is. It's absolutely insane to me to see somebody get roasted on this fucking level, man. Holy shit. It's a defamation case. It's literally about credibility. Yeah, exactly. She conveniently has no evidence for all the really bad things. Yeah, I know. I can't believe Elon is Rocket Man. That's pretty fucking stupid, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Oh, wow. Camille got a Holy Damage buff for her achievement? Yeah, I know. This is just fucking funny, man. Oh my God. Like, it's just... this is just... I honestly feel bad for, Elon got lost in the... No, the thing is, like, Elon was just trying to be a nice guy. You have to understand, like, look at it from his perspective, right? So he meets this hot girl. He starts talking to her. She stops talking to him for some fucking reason. And then she comes back and she says she's being abused by her boyfriend. Like, obviously he's gonna be like, man, you know, like, this really sucks. Like, you've got to understand, like, Elon's got a close relationship with his mom. He still takes his mom everywhere to different places, right? So it's very obvious that he has a, you know, like, he's probably a pretty soft guy in that regard. You know, he's trying to be a nice guy. He's going to be more sympathetic to something like that, probably. And, you know, he hears this and he tries to help her. He does. He tries to help her because from his perspective, he doesn't know what's going on. And, of course, he's going to trust her because he feels like he knows her and she wouldn't lie to him. So, yeah, you're right. He trusted her and he was like, you know what, I'll help you out because, you know, this is a terrible situation for you to be in. Exactly. They're going to give her $500K? Yeah, but $500K for Elon is like lending somebody $50 for you. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, the guy's fucking, he's like super fucking rich. It's not a big deal to him to lend somebody $50, you know? Like, it really, it's less than 50. Yeah, it's not even 50. It's like $5, yeah. Who gives a shit? And this would be a big deal for her. It's going to help. Yeah, it's what he can write this off as taxes. This is a win-win situation. What's wrong with that, man? I mean, god damn. The I pledge, I will donate 10,000. I pledge I'll donate 10,000 subs to you, man. You know what, guys? Hey, who else is going to pledge 10,000 subs to me? Because I'm going to make sure that Twitch provides this. Who else? Who else will pledge 10,000 subs? Everybody, me? Holy shit. Because now that all of you guys pledge the money, Twitch should just pay me the money now. Because in the next monthly, fucking amount of money that I get, right? Like, I should get the next amount, right? I mean, it makes sense because you guys pledged it all. And a pledge is the same as a donation. And so I feel like that makes sense, right? She's lying about donation. What else is she lying about? Exactly. What else is she lying about? Very simple answer to that. Everything. So she's lying about everything. She's made all of this up. It's completely fabricated. And that's shown by like fucking multiple eyewitnesses, different security guards, you know, people in Johnny Depp's past that have known him that counter these stories. Also, literally every single bit of evidence. There's that too. And I cannot wait. You know what they're gonna get to tomorrow, right? The shit. The literal shit. They are going to get ready for the shit. And that is what I am so fucking excited to see, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I am so fucking excited to see what's gonna happen.